Hello there, Yanis here, and today we'll see how to make Koulourakia, and how we usually refer to them as Paschalina Koulourakia. Basically that means Easter cookies, and that means Easter cookies. Yeah, we usually make those once a year, if not more, just because they're quite easy to make and really flavorful. They go very well with tea or coffee. It's very popular in Greece. Yeah, we do it at least once a year before Easter. People that fast don't do it because it contains eggs. There are ways to go around it without the eggs. Let me know down below in the comments if you would like to see that. But yeah, let me guide you through the ingredients. Before that, make sure you open up the recipe on your web. You can find this recipe on yanniskalafatis.com, or you can click the link down below the description. Click the red button, the right subscribe. Just because 93% of you are not subscribed, and it really helps. It doesn't take a lot of effort from you. And yeah, let me know down below in the comments what would you like to watch next. Alright, here we'll go through. I've divided them into cups to speed up the process because it's something new to me. I haven't done this recipe many times, so I would recommend to do the same. You can separate it by steps as I will explain in the description or on how to do the recipe. So yeah, I recommend to follow that, and let's have a look on how to start. We will need the mixer. There might be, you can use a handheld mixer if you don't have one like that. We're gonna install the paddle attachment, and we will start with the butter. Preferably it needs to be soft butter. There you go. And we will mix it a little bit. So that's what we want. It's very cold, it's not gonna really work. So as it's mixing, we're gonna slow it down, and we're gonna add the sugar, caster sugar, all in. And then we will mix for about 5 minutes. Oops, I moved this. Sorry. So we're gonna mix for about 5 minutes until this become like foamy, like nearly as whipped as a cream. So we're gonna increase the speed and let it do its job. Now while this is working, we're gonna warm up our oven on 190 degrees until this is ready, and then we're good to go. One thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stop it. There you go, that's nearly there. Just in case, pause it for a little bit and then scrape everything off the walls or the side of the bowl, like so, and the bottom, just in case. And then we're gonna put it back. There you go. And this is exactly what we want. Now we're gonna stop it again. Actually, we're gonna put it on low speed, sorry. And we're gonna add the eggs one by one. So we'll add the first egg. We're gonna increase the speed a little bit until this is incorporated. Perfect. And then we're gonna go straight away with the other one. Perfect, now that's incorporated. The next step we're gonna do is, here we've got the orange and some brandy. So we're gonna go with that in. We'll increase the speed a little bit and we'll leave it till it does its job. Now here the next step we're going to do, we're gonna leave this aside. I'll tell you what we're gonna do later with this. Here we've got clove, cinnamon, baking powder, bicarbonate of soda, and flour. Plain flour. So we just really want to mix all those dry ingredients together quite well. That will help for the hydrocolloids. So basically the baking powder to activate. So you can either activate it with liquids or the dry ingredients. So this is what we're doing. So we're gonna mix it quite well. There you go. So everything goes in here except for the salt. So back to our mixer, we're gonna add half of the dry ingredients from the bowl, and now we're gonna mix on the lower speed. I was gonna get flour everywhere. Now we can increase a little bit the speed. So when you see it like that, when the mixer looks exactly like this, like a proper dough, let me zoom you in. Whoop, there you go. So once it looks like this, next step is we're gonna add the salt. Now that we already mixed everything else, we're gonna add the salt and the milk. All in, done. We're gonna resume. And that's it. Not even a minute. Once incorporated, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna add a little bit of lime zest. So, as we previously said, once you zesting like a citrus or whatever you say, whatever you zesting, if you do it this way, rather grating the lime on the zester, when you're using the zester, you're making less of a mess because that will stay on the zester. And then we're gonna add it in. Of course, you can use orange, you can use anything you want. I think lemon would be ideal, but I wanted to do one with lime, to be honest. And here we are, that in. We're gonna add the rest of the dry ingredients. Let me do this angle so you see it all together, and we're gonna mix slowly. Alright, so I worked a little bit the dough a little bit further. This is how it needs to look like. So basically it will be sticky, you can feel it sticky, but you can still roll it. It doesn't doesn't stick on your hand, it's just a bit sticky on the touch. That's how you want it. So now what we're going to do, roll up the sleeves, okay? So we will get, so the size is up to you really. So this is what thing is to cut a little bit the size you would like, and start rolling them on a bench and start from the middle to the outside. That's the idea. Once they get too thin, you go, so basically you start from the thicker part and you thinning it out. So when it's all the same, we can do many shapes. This is the most traditional one. It's like that. So then we're gonna grab it and transfer it here to the seal pad. Let me show that again. So we're cutting a little bit, let's say this much. And we'll go down to the bench and we'll start from the thicker part, thinning it out. Up, one more time. And one more time. So we're gonna get about this much. Gonna work it out a bit on the hands. There you go. And then we'll start. Up. We're gonna work, see here. There you go. That's too thick. Now it's becoming too thin there. Gonna hold it steady and roll the rest. There you go. Whoop. And then again, one side there, the opposite side the other way. There you go. And then we're gonna twist and mix, twist and mix, twist and mix, and and just press there in the very front, the tip. That's what you want, so we'll put it there. Now again, this is one of my favorite recipes because during my childhood when I was growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and this is a vivid memory. I remember doing with her a lot of times, making Koulourakia cookies. So yeah, please show some love to this recipe just because I love it. Alright, let me show you some other shapes that you can do in case you do it with your grandchildren, children, or friends, or by your beautiful self. So the process is always the same, I mean most of the time. So we're gonna roll it out into thin strips. There you go. You can work only the right, they're all the same. Another thing we can do is a fish, as we used to say. And it's part of when you are learning about the Greek alphabet as well. So that goes exactly like this. So that's a fish. Or if we imagine it to be a fish. The other thing we can do is when we roll it down, we can just make it into thin strips. That's an option as well, so we can put that there. And just to show you your collection, so here you can do this one, or a snail, probably this one, not that one. The fish and the little stick. And I'll see you when they're all done. Let me know if you've got any other ideas down below in the comments. Alright, so one way I found to do the perfect snail is when you start not from the center but the outside, if that makes sense. So let me show you really quick because this looks banging. 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 Alright, we'll start rolling them down again like so. And then you gotta make sure that it's not stuck onto the bench. You're gonna make this funny shape here. So you make the circle and then you pull out the edge and you come around it. And look at that. Oh my god, that looks amazing. Like, yes, it really does. Cool. Alright, whilst we're getting help with the cookies, we're gonna separate one egg yolk from the egg white, like so, using the sauce. There you go. We're gonna keep the egg whites and do something else with them in the fridge, and we'll focus on the egg yolk. So we'll get our brush in. We will drop a little bit of blossom water about 25 grams, and then a little bit of water to thin it out. That will be about a tablespoon of water. We're gonna mix them well, and we're gonna brush our cookies. Okay. Alright, so here are the cookies. We did multiple shapes. I got a bit of help as well. So we did a new shape right here, and then those. So in the end, that gives us 3 trays. Yeah, so we're just gonna get them in the oven. So we have already preheated the oven to 190. We're gonna go in for 30 to 35 minutes. Start with 30, and if needs more, cook them a little bit more. So yeah. Alright, our cookies are ready. It took a little bit less. For me it was 20 to 25 minutes. And they're a little bit, they have a good amount of color on them. So that's what we're looking at. And then when you break them, must make sure they're not raw inside. They'll be a little bit wet until they cool down. But yeah. Alright, and here are all of our cookies. And they're amazing. So let's try one. I think the secret is adding like the blossom butter. It gives such a distinct flavor. So yeah, this is how you make your Easter cookies, as we call them in Greece. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check the recipe. You can find it on yanniskalafatis.com. Link for our website will be down below the description. As you're down there, click the red button that writes subscribe, because 93% of you are not subscribed, and helps and motivates me. Don't forget to click the like button. Leave down below in the comments what would you like to watch next. Okay. Yeah, and have a good day.